Welcome to PVN Bharat. I am Mansi Sawant, and today, to mark the occasion of World Youth Skills Day, we have a very prominent Goan entrepreneur with us, none other than Sairaj Dhond. Sairaj Dhond, famously known as Mr. Wakao, is the founder and CEO of Waka Foods, a jackfruit-based vegan food company. He transitioned from a career in criminal law to becoming a leading entrepreneur, earning recognition for Waka Foods as India's most loved plant-based food company, notably backed by all three female sharks on the Shark Tank India Season 1 in 2022. Besides Waka Foods, Sairaj is a serial entrepreneur with ventures in lighting, solar solutions and real estate restoration called Luxo Heritage Homes. Awarded the Business World Young Entrepreneur Award in 2021, he is also deeply involved in social causes and is a state-level cricket champion. With this, I would like to welcome our guest, Sairaj Dhond. Sairaj, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Mansi. Thank you.
Yeah. Firstly, to begin with, I would love to know about your journey from being a criminal lawyer to becoming Mr. Wakao. What drove you to start Waka Foods?
To tell you honestly, I always wanted to be a lawyer. And I studied to be a lawyer, and I couldn't wait till I went to the courts and started practicing. But like this, when you do something from morning till night, you actually realize whether you want to do it for the rest of your life or not. Till then, it's all an illusion. It's something that you perceive it to be.
Yeah.
So when I did law rigorously for one whole year, from morning till night, with all my effort, I realized that that's something that I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that this is something I didn't want to do. And that's when I took the plunge one night all of a sudden, and I said, I'm going to quit law and do something with my life in the entrepreneurship field. And from that day, the aim was just one, and that was to build a brand and take it to the world. Call it a proud Indian brand, made in India, a Goan brand that will go to the world. Now, what the product was is something that I had not figured out, and I didn't know what it was. So I joined my family business, and I lasted exactly for 6 months. So I was not great at taking orders, and I didn't like status quo. I was always very uneasy. I wanted to do more. Then I started my first venture. I did total of 3 ventures before I landed on to Wakao. And Wakao also happened in a very, I keep saying that opportunities seldom come, but when they come, you need to grab them.
Yes.
So I one day came across one video article of Palki Sharma Upadhyay, who's of First Post now, then of Vyon. And the headline of that article was the new superfood of the world, jackfruit.
Oh.
And that really caught my attention, because all of us Goans, jackfruit is very native to us. It grows literally in our backyard. It falls, it rots, no one cares for it. And here the world was calling it a superfood. So I thought there was potential in this, and I thought this could be my big idea. I started researching, I started reading about it. And the more I read about it, I was convinced that this is not jackfruit, it's a jackpot. And there's so much that can be done with this, and I thought I should explore that. And that's how this whole thing started.
Yeah. And then how was your experience on Shark Tank India?
Amazing. So I keep telling people that I had a life pre-Shark Tank and post-Shark Tank. It completely changed. So what Shark Tank did was it gave us suddenly a pan-India audience. Like my video on YouTube today has around 4.5 million views. And so it gave us recognition and it gave us credibility. Those are 2 very important things that a brand needs in its early stage. So we were just like 10 months old when we came on Shark Tank. And since then, that whole positioning of Wakao has changed. We've become a national brand. People, wherever we go, we get recognized. It's easier to enter a lot of new avenues because we already have this credibility which is there for us. And yeah, so it's changed our life, and it's the best thing that happened to us.
Indeed, indeed. So could you share what are the challenges or difficulties that you shared in your journey?
So the life of an entrepreneur is a challenge at every step.
Yes.
Even today, there are multiple challenges that we are facing, and the challenge they only keep on changing with the scale you're at. So the bigger your scale is, the challenges change, but it's always challenging. To start with, when you're starting a brand, there's a whole difference between building a brand and building a business which could be a B2B business, so where you don't need a branding. So when you're building a brand, there are a lot of more elements that are involved in it. It's a very expensive process. It's like for us, we were introducing something that the world had not seen before. It was as good as an innovation. No one had ever imagined that you could do sausages from jackfruit, or you could do burger patties from jackfruit. Jackfruit could be in this format. So we had to spend a lot of more time, energy, funds in educating people. Education takes a lot of time. We need to keep telling people what this whole concept is and getting them to find out. So that took a lot of time. Again, it was a new market. We started from Goa, but we had to scale. Today, I'm really happy to say that we are present in every pin code in India. We have around 7 distributors across India. We export to 5 countries. But all of that took time, and it was a step-by-step process. We started from our neighborhood first. Then we went to the next state. Then we went to more states. Then we went to a new country. So yeah, you need to just have patience. You need to believe in your idea. You need to, one very important thing when you're building a food business is you need to have your ears very close to the ground.
Yes.
Because taste is something which is very subjective. What I may like, you may not like. What you may like, someone else may not like. So we have to keep on innovating. That's very important. Change is the only constant. You need to keep on innovating.
Indeed, it's great to hear that your product from Goa has reached to the world now. So coming to the Youth Skills Day, how do you think youth skills can help in promoting the importance of skill development among the young people?
One thing I genuinely believe is education can take you to a certain level, but skills are something that can skyrocket your career or you as a person. And skills are something that you don't learn from your mother's stomach and come. It's something that you learn in course of life.
Yes.
So I'm a lawyer by education, but I do something which is completely different from what I studied. So I always believe that the attitude of a person determines how far in life that person can go. The skills can be acquired, need to be acquired, but you need to have the attitude to acquire those skills. So if you're, forget whatever you're, so today I studied in VM Salgaonkar College of Law. But today I'm fortunate to go and speak about marketing in IIMs, IITs, GIMs. I'm called all over the country to talk. But that's because of the skills that I acquired, right? Yes. So if you can acquire the right skills, then the sky is the limit. And I think this is the best movement that is there because skilled workforce is the most important workforce. People consider, so even in the recruitment parlance, people look at IIM graduates or IITians who get high pay packets and all. I don't believe in that. I think even our local Goans are superb when it comes to working, but they need to be skilled. And if you can do that, I think they can compete with anybody and get jobs and be in high positions anywhere in the world just based on what kind of skills they can acquire.
Truly, like I do believe that. So what do you think, what kind of skills are crucial that they have to learn in order to become successful in particular business?
So for any business or a startup or entrepreneurship, the most key role is sales. You need to know to sell. Okay? That's the basic. All the rest you can do, but you need to know to sell. Another very key role in any business that you build is communication. You need to know how to communicate. I keep saying, a founder has to be the best storyteller. You have to be ready to tell the best story ever. Because you're telling stories and trying to convince at every step of your life. When you want someone to join you in your business, when you're new, when you don't have those funds, you're telling a story, you're selling them a story to your employee or to people to come and work with you. You're trying to sell a story to your consumers, why your product is better than the rest. You're trying to sell a story to your investors, why they should invest in you and how you're going to make their money into 10x or 100x. So you are every day, every single day of your life, you're communicating and you're storytelling. And that's the most important skill that you need to learn. And I think if that's taught or if it's trained, you're trained in it very early in your life, it'll help you. It'll help you really grow. So these are very generic skills which you need to know, like how you sell a product, how you're going to speak and try and convince the other person to buy your stuff is one thing. And other skills which are there are very specific. They're job related skills. Now, what kind of role do you want to get into? You need to learn those skills like computer skills or just social media skills. Because today the whole world is moving towards social media. So one thing that I would tell everybody is really sharpen your skills when it comes to how you deal with the social media world, the online world. There are so many different platforms, how you deal on those platforms, how good you are with various, softwares. If you can gain those skills, that's very helpful. Something like, I'll tell you a simple thing, like Canva.
Yes.
How many people really know Canva? But if you know that, it helps a company so much. I'm telling you, I have in my office we have like 3-4 people who know Canva. They have nothing to do with them, but they know Canva. It helps so much, So these are small skills. If you can acquire them and learn them, it will help you in your growth trajectory.
Also, how to make post attractive on your social media so that it can reach to audience.
Very important.
Very important. Indeed. So what do you think are the common misconceptions that the youth has, about the entrepreneurship and how they can overcome these challenges?
Biggest misconception is that it's a very cool thing to be an entrepreneur. It seems very trendy because honestly it sometimes looks to be cool when you're wearing some good merchandise and you're wearing good hoodies and you're roaming around, you're traveling a lot. But trust me, it is the toughest role. So they say you are your own boss. There's no one to tell. It's the toughest to be your own boss because you have to self-discipline yourself. Sometimes when there is a set form of rules and you have to just follow them, it's easier. But when you have to lead by example, it becomes the most toughest thing. And therefore, one thing that I want to tell the youth is don't become an entrepreneur for the wrong reasons. Don't become an entrepreneur because you think it is cool, because you think it is fun to travel, because you think you're going to be your own boss, you can get up at whatever time and come whatever time you want to office. Don't become an entrepreneur for all those reasons. Become an entrepreneur if you really want to solve a problem. If there's something that you've identified which really needs a solution and you have that solution and you think this can be path breaking, become an entrepreneur. So that's the most important misconception that everyone has to get off. It's the toughest job in the world. The life of an entrepreneur is very, very, very lonely. No one really understands what's happening in your mind because there's so much happening. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, you need to be resilient. You need to have you need to have that never say die attitude, and you need to be perseverant. You'll fail, you get up, try again. You fail, you get up, you try again. If you have all of those skills and you have that gumption in you, then become an entrepreneur. If not, there is nothing wrong in not being an entrepreneur. So I keep saying, one last thing I'll tell you. I keep saying that entrepreneurship is not about a founder. It's a mindset. You can have, so in my company, we hire only entrepreneurs. We don't hire managers. We hire people with the mindset of an entrepreneur. And I'll tell you the difference very quickly. A manager or an employee has a fixed mindset. You have, it's like 9 to 6. That's your fixed timing. An entrepreneur doesn't have that mindset. He could go early, but then he has no bottom line. If he needs to stay, he'll stay longer. And a manager will always have a fixed salary in his mind. I get this salary, I go home, I'm happy. An entrepreneur, the sky is the limit. He says, no, how can I maximize this? So we always work on those kind of structures. We work on incentive structures so that everyone has their skin in the game and wants to do more. So you can be an employee with an entrepreneur's mindset, no problem. But there could be only those many founders in the world. But the main thing is the mindset.
Absolutely. So Sairaj, in your opinion, how important is mentorship for the young minds and entrepreneurs, and how can they find the right mentors?
I think mentorship is very important. And that's because, you don't want to repeat the mistakes that someone else has already made and can tell you what those mistakes are. You are definitely going to make new mistakes. And that's okay. You need to make new mistakes. But don't make mistakes which people have already made. And in today's day and age, I keep saying this. Today is the best time to be an entrepreneur. It is the best time to start a startup in India. There's nothing better than today's day. Everyone is supporting you. The whole ecosystem is supporting you. You're doing this program today. That is a whole big push towards entrepreneurship. Skill development is such a big thing that the government is pushing.
Yes.
There are startups. There is the Atal Incubation Center. There are so many incubation centers. You just need to look around. When someone says to me that I want to do this, but I don't have any mentor, I don't have anyone helping me, I just tell that person that you're not trying hard enough. If you try, if you look around, there are hundreds of people out there waiting to help you. There are so many incubation centers, there are so many mentors, there are so many people who are there out there waiting to help you and guide you. So I myself speak to so many people, and especially Goans, my doors are always open. So I would love to help any Goan who wants to start up, who wants my opinion. I keep going to so many colleges in Goa. Why do I do that? Because if I can influence and help or just get into even one person's mind, I'm so happy about it. So mentorship is available. You just need to have an honest intention to do the right thing. If you're going to come there just to do some kind of time pass and just you want to act cool or you want to just do something for namesake, people can see through it and they'll not help you. But if you have a real passion, or you have a fire in your belly, you have a great product, great idea, and you say, I want to make this a reality, there will be hundreds of people out there who are ready to help you. You need to ask, you need to try.
So what advice would you like to give to these young minds who are in the process of starting their, or want to start their journey, or want to become an entrepreneur?
Simple, I always look at this when I was in college, say around 15 years ago when I was in college, life was completely different. And today's life and today's college going students are completely different. It's been a huge shift in everything. The startup ecosystem is buzzing. I have seen 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 21-year-olds build $1 million startups. Look at Zepto. They're like 22, 23-year-old boys. So today the times have changed. So the simple thing that I tell people is, when you're in college or and you have that kida in you, as we say, to do something, keep looking out for opportunities. Keep looking out for what could be a great business idea. In my opinion, there are two types of great business idea. One is where you see a gap in the market or a service. When there is something that is not being done at all, there's a gap. That could be a great business idea. Like, no one was selling jackfruit ever in a branded way, and I saw that was a gap in the market. I filled that gap. The second is where there is a product or a service which is being done, but you think you can improve or make it in a much better way, which will change the lives of your consumers. Then do that. That's another great business idea. So you need to just keep your minds and ears open, keep looking for different things. Don't waste your time. Try and push and do something like this. And someone who's just started his business is, like I mentioned earlier, keep your ears very open to the ground, be very close to the ground, take feedback very constructively. One of the most important things that entrepreneurs don't do is take proper feedback. Don't be negative about things. Take it constructively, work hard towards it, try and improve your product or service, and don't give up. You can't give up as an entrepreneur. That word has to be removed out of your dictionary. So you have to keep trying. Times will be tough, but keep trying. Reach out to people when you're in tough times. Don't be shy, don't be afraid, and don't feel that it is something less to ask someone for help. Go out, ask for help, and take opinions. And I think don't ever give up. Just be perseverant.
Absolutely. So Sairaj, how do you envision the future of work in Goa, work of youth in Goa, and what steps should they take today to be prepared for it?
So I think Goa is developing really rapidly, and a lot of outsiders. I was in Bangalore last week. There's so many people who want to come to Goa, set up in Goa. Forget Goans, but even non-Goans want to come and set up because Goa is such a beautiful place, such a nice place to work from. So it's going to be very competitive. One thing that our youth need to understand is, gone are the days when everything was very easy for Goans and you would surely have something. You need to be in it to win it. You need to be competitive. You need to get up and compete with the world. Now Goa is no more a small playground for few friends to play. It's become the world's playground. Everyone's here. So you need to, and don't look, and one thing that I like to tell everyone is, don't look at Goa as your playground. Look at the world as your playground. There's so much more opportunity across the world that can be really grasped and made the most of. So you need to get out of your comfort zone. Don't look at those traditional businesses that we keep seeing, real estate, restaurants, hotels. There's like traditional that's done.
Something
our
out of the
parents
box.
and our grandparents and all have done that. Now you need to go out of the box. You need to think of ideas which are different, which could be path breaking. And that does not mean heavy investment, a lot of money. It just means a great idea which can be executed. So look at those opportunities and make the world your playground. Very easy today.
Absolutely. So Sairaj, what trends do you foresee in the next 5 years that will shape the skills required for the young entrepreneurs?
So like I said, one thing that I'm seeing very clearly is that a lot of things are moving online. So you need to be ready to first of all, mold yourself with changing trends. You can't be stuck to old formats and old ways of working. You have to be flexible and start being agile and do things, change with times, change with trends. That will really help you grow. That's the first thing. The other thing is you need to be ready to, like I said, move outside your geographies, because today with AI coming in, a lot of jobs are going to go. A lot of people are going to lose their traditional jobs which are there because of AI, and AI is coming very rapidly and in all fields. So the faster you develop your skills and become more useful to a company, it's going to help you. So if you are of that mindset, either you just then stick to a government job, which is, I think, in today's day and age, it's the worst thing to aspire to be. There's nothing wrong in being a government servant, it's good. But it's not something that you can aspire from your childhood growing up that one day I want to be a government servant.
Yeah.
That's not something you aspire to be, right? You end up there, it's fine, it's fair, nothing, no, not bad. But aspire for bigger things. That's what I want to tell the youth. If your parents have been government servants, even I have people in my family who are government servants, fair, good. But don't aspire to be that, no, because that limits yourself. I think that's a compromised job. Aspire to do something that can be limitless, that can take you, your family, your state, your country's name to the world. So when you look at those kind of things, you'll see path-breaking opportunities. And if you go in that mindset, get in that mindset very early, then later if things don't fall as per plan and all, there'll always be something which you can then settle for. But don't start with a settled plan. Start with something that you really want to be. Because now with so many new things coming in, things are changing so fast. It's rapid. You need to look at what, like in EV, there's so many new things that are happening with EV, right from vehicles to a lot of more things. Even with simple things like food. Today food is changing so rapidly, the lost foods. There's so much of potential in agriculture, which actually people are not looking at. But modernized agriculture has a huge impact. Even because I export and I speak to a lot of people from outside, they want healthy food stuff. They want things like value-added stuff from millets. The government is giving you such a push. Why don't you think out of the box? Goa has so much of agriculture. So why don't you come with innovative things that can be done? There's a lot of potential, but we don't think in that direction. But I think the youth should now start looking at unorthodox things.
Absolutely, Sairaj. I think our audience must have gained valuable insights from this interview and about the skills that you have shared, that, a person needs to think big and sky is the limit, and then they need to work on their communication skill. That is like the key.
Absolutely.
Key factor that they have to build to sell their product. I think our audience must have been enlightened by your insights.
I hope.
And it was a pleasure having you in our show, Sairaj. Thank you so much for coming on our show. And with that, we have come to an end of this program, and we will be back with such programs with aspiring and inspiring entrepreneurs in the PBN Bharat program. Thank you so much for watching.